So it's September and you're still not at Barcelona. What happened? Look, I just want to assure the fans that I'm 100% committed to the club until January.
That's the spirit, Mr. Wanted the big money move, but says what he has to keep the Merseyside fans happy, Guy.
The talkSPORT Clips of the Week.
Yes, time for the Clips of the Week. I'm not here, I know, but we pre-recorded them yesterday. So, Andy, would you care to kick us off?
Yes, we start with breakfast co-host Dean Saunders chatting to guest Laura Woods about Motti.
Do you know what, Laura? I was fortunate enough in the Euros to sit and watch a game with him.
Were you?
It was Ireland against Italy, I think it was. And we were just having Sunday lunch. It was on a Sunday.
What about that? What a revelation.
Who would have thought it?
It's quite nice, though, to have Sunday lunch on a Tuesday. Just to break with tradition.
Well, that's Christmas dinner every day.
Yes, that's that fella, yeah. Now, some sporting names, they do stand shortening. Alan Brazil's infamous Cristianaldo, for example. That works, Cristianaldo. You get the idea. Not sure Tom Latcham can get away with this one, though.
Frotch, I know that he's just more recently retired, so he's fresh in people's minds, but actually, people will probably prefer Crotch.
Yeah, Crotch doesn't really work, does it? Cristianaldo, yes. Crotch, no.
I don't think
I'm
so.
not going to call him Crotch to his face.
I'm not. Here's a caller to Drive talking England.
We're not technically good enough at football to compete at the highest level. We've got no ball-playing centre midfielders. Lampard and Scholes and Gerrard are not turning in their grave.
That's a very...
I hadn't heard. Oh, that's terrible news.
My old nan would say, that's wicked, you're being wicked. Still very much with us, folks. Mike Parry now, during the Two Mikes Heroes and Villains feature, slightly losing the plot.
My final villain, after much consideration, I'm afraid, is actually J.R. Hartley.
Who?
J.R. Hartley.
Why?
I thought J.R. Hartley actually was a curmudgeonly old bore.
Yeah, and not a real person. Like, just a bloke in a Yellow Pages advert.
And anyway, not as bad as Kim Jong-un.
Well, that's right. I think Mike Graham gave us Kim Jong-un. He came back with J.R. Hartley. Guess who won Heroes and Villains? What's next, Andy?
It's Nigel Botherway on Fisherman's Blues, and it's unlikely he'll ever do his own version, of Don't Ask Me.
Many thanks to Ben Fisk of Angling Times. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, talking of batches. Now, what was I going to tell you next? I had something else I was going to tell you. I tell you what I didn't have a chance to say last week. Details on the Get Hooked on Fishing website. What else was I going to tell you? There was something else.
That was all in the space of 5 minutes. His memory had just gone completely. Don't ask me, definitely. Now, here's a rare one from Max Rushton, looking ahead to later on TalkSPORT.
At 1 o'clock today, TalkSPORT brings you an exclusive interview with England's greatest ever goal scorer, Mark Saggers.
Well, who knew that?
Who can ever forget him? It's a goal!
That's right. That was his trademark celebration. Mark Saggers.
This is Sam Allardyce, co-hosting on Breakfast, chatting to Hull's Seb Larson.
Seb Larson.
Seb Larson.
What system is the manager playing? Is he a back three man now that everybody seems to be going, or are you 4-4, 4-2-3-1?
That's an interesting system he's got going there, isn't it? That's 17 players, isn't it?
A lot of players, really.
Yeah, the old 4-4-4, 2-3-1.
He always was ahead of his time.
He was, yeah, that's right. This is Jim Proudfoot commentating on Portsmouth versus Rochdale and seemingly going into a mid-match wrap.
Pittman keeps it alive, stops it going out of play for a throw. Neat turn by Burgess, finds Lowe. Was it caught by Potter? The referee says no, and ultimately it's gone out of play for a throw.
Then he dropped the mic. And walked away from the commentary position.
And we did wonder whether Alex Dibble had a little livener before delivering this sports bulletin.
And in sport, Ibrahimovic holds no fear for Lukaku.
Sorry, what was that, Alex?
Ibrahimovic.
Just a small one for me. So, what's next, Andy?
It's time now for the TalkSPORT Caller of the Week to the Sports Bar.
I don't bet any more on horses. I haven't for years and years.
Good. And then one of your other people, Andy Brazil.
TalkSPORT Caller of the Week.
I love him in the morning, Andy Brazil.
He's great, Andy Brazil, isn't he? Yeah.
Tremendous.
Now back to Max here discussing the Davy Russell horse punching incident.
And the subject of, and look, until you've sat on a jockey We're going to talk to David Muir from the RSPCA in a second. So you sat on a jockey.
Have you ever sat on a jockey, Andy?
Well, I wanted to sit on Ruby Walsh's lap.
I bet he wasn't keen, was he?
He wasn't, no.
No, don't blame him. Excessive use of the whip would have followed there, I think, if you'd tried that.
He would have done, really. And staying with that story, this is Dean Saunders reading an email.
Can you ask Dean Saunders if seeing a horse punch turns his stomach, how does he feel when sharing a sheep?
I think he means shearing a sheep. Well, I hope he does, because there is one other alternative, and I'm not massively keen on going down that road.
Definitely not.
And finally, it's Jason Cundy, and we know you do enjoy these little musical interludes.
Why do you think you joined Liverpool?
For the
what?
For the money.
It's not all about the money. It's not all about the money. It's not all about the money. Money.
Together at last then, Jason and Jessie J. Thanks to Villa Ricky, Matt United, Nicky Hayes, Paul Forrestal, Ron Spagcock, Big Daddy Dunks, Paul Smith, Kevin from Gibraltar, Lee Pyle, Philip Isaac, William Benjamin, Shem, Chris Cowell and Simon Frost. All had clips played today. If you hear a clip on TalkSport over the next 7 days, please send it in to us, talksport.com/H&J, text to 81089 or tweet to TSH&J. That's TSHANDJ. Give us a day and a time when you heard. If you send them to me personally, do copy them into @TSH&J. It's always much safer that way. And if it's played like those guys, you will get a credit. If you want to download the podcast, you want to listen to those clips again, about 5 o'clock that'll be available, along with the H&J Daily Podcast Best Bits of this afternoon show with Andy and Andy. I'm back on Monday. Have a good weekend, folks, and you, and it's more from Goldstein and Jacobs very shortly.
Time for our new feature on the show. It's a little bit like clips that we'll explain it in a second. Time for tonight's Coughs of the Week.
The TalkSport Clips of the Week.
Hello and welcome to a new feature on the show, Coughs of the Week. Yeah. Now, of course, we've stolen it from Clips of the Week, the brilliant Clips of the Week, we have to say. Of course, you can hear that on the great Hawksbee Jacobs tomorrow, 3:30, every Friday. So the reason we've done it is because, of course, they never feature themselves in their own Clips
They're
of the
not going to do that. They're not going to put themselves in.
No, we wouldn't either, and rightly so. So we thought, right, okay, what can we do that might be quite funny? So we thought, we'll go Coughs of the Week. And then we thought we'd just nab their coughs.
Nick their coughs.
Although, having heard them, we think they're quite funny. I imagine we'll open this up to the rest of TalkSport, so I'm guessing this time next week, they'll all be Alan Brazil.
Brazil will give us loads of coughs.
So let us know when you hear the cough. You'll get the idea of what we're doing, and we'll tell you how you can contact us at the end of this item. So let's start with Andy Jacobs, and we'll start with what's known in the trade as the 2:04 p.m. cough.
On DAB Digital Radio and 1089 and 1053 AM. Hawksbee and Jacobs on TalkSport.
Good afternoon. It is 4 minutes past 2.
Beautifully done.
Well, it's a different cough to the 2:05 p.m.
Yeah, I mean,
and the 2:03.
What's happened there? The mic has gone live a little bit too early for him.
No. That's a superstition.
Deliberate?
That's their superstition.
Okay, next up, it's Andy again. This time producing the old toilet flush cough.
All the latest transfer news is on the website. That is talksport.com.
Oh, there it was in the background.
Yeah, it's like the old school time with the chain. There you go. Yeah. Next up on Paul Hawksbee, this time with the perfect, one of the best executions I've ever heard of the old "excuse me" vicar cough.
First female manager in Scottish senior football.
You know, tremendous CV really. Player manager at Kilmarnock, Hibernian and Spartans women's team.
There we go.
Excuse me, Vicar.
Yeah, didn't do that. Now, not to be outdone, Andy is showing exactly how the vicar cough should be done.
We'll do enough work that we can do so, just on the off chance. I mean, they would say that was perfectly legal, and I'm sure it was.
That was better for me.
He's showing him exactly how it's done.
That was a good cough. Paul up next, and I consider this a classic. One of the great classic coughs. The old heavy breath cough.
Because this will still hurt them. If it's 2 transfer windows, I'll send a Macca. You go through the whole season.
We all do that.
Get away from the mic. Turn away.
You can't be bothered to cough, but you sort of...
Just comes from the lungs. And finally, it's Paul again. Obviously, the thought of a cookery show is already getting his juices flowing.
For me, I would like to see her doing a cookery show set in France.
I know.
So would I. Oh, yeah. Oh, a cookery show in France. Woo-hoo-hoo! maybe I'm getting a little bit too excited. So there you go. There's this week's coughs of the week.